Hi, I'm Mr. Franklin, and welcome back. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving break. Let's take a look at our agenda for this week. Go to the overview and agenda page. This is where you should have found the link to this video. Please make sure that you are watching the entire video, or as I've discussed before, watching the section for the day that you're covering. So a brief overview of this week, whether you're block 1, block 2, block 3, or 4, the overall progress of what you're going to do is going to be the same. You may have a couple things on a different day just because of what day your Zoom is. So on Monday, you're going to get your new vocabulary and you're going to take some video notes that are going to introduce basically the overall topic for this unit. On Tuesday, we're going to talk about those video notes and you're going to have some work time to work on your final draft, which is due on Friday for TED number 3. On Wednesday, you're going to have some more video notes on static electricity and Coulomb's law. So we're going to be looking at charge and static electricity. You'll take a look at that. And then on Thursday, you'll have a Zoom as well as a PhET simulation. And then on Friday, you'll have your quiz. It'll primarily be vocabulary, but it will also have questions that are from the video notes. And then there will be a weekly reflection. The big part of the weekly reflection for this week will be making sure that you are thinking ahead because we only have 3 weeks of school left until the end of the quarter. And so if you are still behind, you have got some work to get done. So I hope you're rested and have some energy and are prepared to do that. All right, so let's go jump in and look at some more details on each assignment. So let's start with Monday. So standard, this is our vocabulary. You go file, make a copy. You'll click on the document. Basically, you're gonna make flashcards. And your new words for this unit is all about electricity for the most part and magnetism. We are going to be talking about the atom. So there are some other words that are not on this list that you should know from previous science classes. But if you don't, when we come to those new words, make sure you're getting those down as well. We also have a table of some new variables and abbreviations. The one I want to point out is this one. It is the Greek letter omega. It's basically a horseshoe. So if you're writing it by hand, you can just put little feet on it, and that is the sign for resistance, or we call it the ohms. Okay, so almost think of it like we're going to draw an O, but then we put like little feet on it, kind of like an M. Okay, so it's ohms. So make sure you're making your flashcards, and I will have another document in here that will actually help guide you through that, our standard vocabulary document. Next, we have the atom and charge. Okay, so the atom and charge. So basically, I've made this as a playlist, so you can actually go, once you go to YouTube, you can actually click on my channel and you can go to playlists and you can actually watch this playlist. I mean, should have all of the videos in this playlist, and it has them in order that I want you to watch them. Or you can click on the individual links for videos. So you can click on the introduction to the video series, which basically just gives you an overview of this unit. Then you can watch the video on the atom, the video on charge, and this atom builder demonstration. So you're gonna watch all 4 of those videos. It may not feel like it when you're watching them, but they're much shorter than what we would normally watch. So I'm trying to shorten some things for you. These essential questions, I would actually maybe read over them, but the goal of the notes is not to just answer the questions because there is some more information in the notes than just these questions. But if you do get these questions down, then you will be well prepared for the quiz at the end of the week. Then we'll have our Zoom. We'll hit some high points, answer any questions you have about the atom and charge that we've talked about so far. We will also have some work time to work on our TED number 3 final draft. Then the next day, this is Wednesday, you're going to have some more video notes. So static electricity and Coulomb's law, I've taken about 40 minutes of notes and compressed it to 15 or 12. So like a 6-minute video and then like another 6-minute video. So they're hopefully a little more manageable than some of our other videos have been. Once again, make sure you're taking good notes. I'm really not looking for you to just like answer the question. If you do that, then you must answer them in complete sentences. In this Zoom, we'll talk specifically about charge, Coulomb's law, and static electricity. And we'll talk about, you will get to mess with the PhET lab. This is not a gizmo, so this is our own little PhET lab. So the first thing is just kind of a review of our notes on the atom. So you need to make sure you answer those questions. And then just follow the instructions. So you're going to go to this website and you're going to use this to answer the questions. So it says, explore by dragging the balloon around, drag it to the sweater, drag it to the wall, let the balloon go, play around. Okay. When you finish playing around, so just play around with the gizmo, see what happens. Okay. Try 2 balloons, just play around, see what happens, get an idea of how the simulation is going to work. Okay. Just play around with it. When you're done playing around, then click reset and then go back to the gizmo and now start here and start answering the questions. Okay. It's going to ask you to sketch things. So you're going to draw, take a picture, and then insert. So make sure you insert the image. What is the overall charge? So you have 3 choices: positive, negative, or neutral. Neutral means no charge. So you're going to tell me what is the answer to this question for the sweater and the balloon. And then you're going to do something with the sweater and balloon. You're going to draw it, and you're going to tell me what happens to the charge. Okay. And you're going to describe what happens when we put it up against the wall. You're going to try it several times, because depending on how much charge you got on there, you might get different reactions. That's not the only simulation we're going to do. You're going to come down to this second activity, and you're going to actually mess with static electricity. So you're going to build up some electric charge, and then you're going to watch it discharge onto the metal door. And you can play with how much charge can you get before it jumps. Okay. You can try all kinds of different things. Will it jump from here? I don't know. So play with it, play around with it, but then go back and make sure you answer these questions. Okay, activity 3 is specifically about fields and Coulomb's law. Okay, so this one is a little confusing. So please make sure that you're reading and following the pictures as you go. So the first thing is we have our charges here. So we have a red charge and it draws the field. So notice it's a positive charge, so all the field lines go away from the positive. Okay, if I put a negative, all the field lines go towards the negative. I put a positive and a negative. You can actually see how they go from positive to negative and how they're actually connected to each other. Okay, and then I can do like charges. And if I put them together, you can see how they actually don't, there's a point where they actually like don't link up with each other. Okay, they actually push apart. So just follow the directions. So there's a picture that tells you what to do, what to drag out onto the screen, and then tell me what's going on for each of these setups. So you're going to do multiple setups, and it's going to ask you some very simple questions. Okay, so just read the questions. The blue is directions, follow the directions. We're going to have some more complex charge setups. Okay, so the basics are for you should know what those are going to be even without using the gizmo. Down here, you may not know what that's going to look like. So use the gizmo to help you. Field lines are showing us what the possible future force might be, and we can actually measure what that force might be using Coulomb's law, okay? And that's a simple way to say it. So you're going to read this statement about charge and how we find equipotential, and we're going to map these things out following these directions. Okay? So let's go take a look at the controls for this. And just so you kind of got an idea what's going on. So you got these boxes over here. So you're going to do, we don't want the grid, values, voltage. Okay. So we're going to take this out here and we can click the pencil icon and it's going to draw a line that shows what the potential is. So Coulomb's law is based on distance, and so the closer you are, the number is much bigger. So the potential force is much bigger because you're closer to the charge, okay? Now, if I put multiple charges out there, actually, I'm going to turn the field lines off for a minute. If I put multiple charges out there, I can actually map out the potential force. So when we say potential, you need to think potential energy, but we're also thinking potential force between these particles, okay? And so you can kind of see what these are. You can actually, there we go, values. So notice there's a negative potential because these are negative charges and this is a positive charge. We have positive potential. Okay, the other thing you need to know is you can also do the eraser to erase, the pencil to draw the line. And you're basically just going to read that, and you're also probably going to do some measuring. So you can take the tape measure and you can put the plus. If you put it on the center of the charge, see how it kind of matches up with the white plus, the little red plus there? And then you can drag it to the center of the next charge, and you can actually measure the distance. So that's kind of how the controls work, okay? Just read carefully and follow the directions. Most of this is, remember, we're putting in a positive test charge. What's going to happen to the charge? So if I take a positive test charge and put it right here, what's most likely going to happen? Positive and positive, like charges, what's going to happen? Okay, so it shouldn't be too hard, but you can, if you really understand how that works, you may not even have to do the gizmo to actually figure that out. Take a look at that, make sure you read the directions carefully. And then you will have your quiz, and then you'll have your weekly reflection. Just note that there are only 3 weeks of class left. You may complete any assignment from this quarter for full credit. And if you are behind and you're still behind, maybe you had a really good break and didn't get as much work done as you had hoped. That happened to me. So how are you going to catch up? Keep thinking about that. Do one little thing a day. If you do one little thing a day that's extra, it'll add up. So we have 19 days between now and when school gets out. So if you do one little thing each day that's extra, or even half a thing, that's better than no thing. Okay, so do something, get it turned in. You know, brushing your teeth works because you do it a little bit every day. That's more important than how well you brush your teeth. The fact that you do it every day is actually what helps you. So some things are worth doing badly, and because it's important to life, and you just need to do it every day. So same with some of your homework. Some of you are like stuck and overwhelmed, and part of it's because you want your work to be perfect. You know that you're a better student, and it's very frustrating because you can't turn in your best work. But I promise you, turn in the best that you can do, and your grades will be fine. Okay, so it's better that I get some work with something done on it than no work at all. So please make a plan for that. If you are seriously behind, like have a no mark or something, you really need to schedule and come see me during tutorial time so that we can sit down together. And I may not actually explain anything. I may just sit there and say, hey, okay, let's work on 2.1 or 5.1. Okay, do that right now. And I just help you pick what to do and sit there and help you and be with you while you're working on it. Okay. And then I can answer questions if you need it. All righty. That concludes this weekly overview, and I will see you on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on what class you're in. See ya.